Today we are going to be looking at the Preschoolers Bible by Gilbert Beers, illustrated by Tammy Leon. Like the previous book we examined, this seems to be a new 2012 edition of an older 1994 book. This book features colorful, kid-friendly images, neither too graphic nor especially cheesy. The stories are short and use language that is simple enough for preschoolers to understand and for young readers to start to be able to read on their own. Over 100 stories from the Bible are told. There is a little more emphasis on the Pentateuch and the Gospels, but stories from other parts are also included. A few more unusual stories are included, such as Isaac digging wells and the resurrection of Dorcas. There were a few things that I found disconcerting, and most of my thoughts were echoed by other reviewers online. First, the author wrote in the present tense. It was a bit jarring to read God makes everything as part of the creation story rather than God made everything. Second, while it does avoid showing all the characters as white people, they don't necessarily seem to be Semitic or Egyptian or African or any specific ethnicity. Almost everyone in the book has roughly the same dark skin, the same straight dark hair, and the same nose. In general, the pictures were generic and simple enough to not be terribly inaccurate in their details, but there were a couple places where it bothered me. One of the worst was the nativity scene. It was very recognizably stereotypical. I've seen ornaments with a similar design, but also, therefore, very inaccurate. Lastly, I would argue that the author was more often writing theology than communicating the story. The phrase, so-and-so obeyed God, or some variation, was repeated so often it was a bit distracting. The idea seemed to be that the children don't need to fully understand what happened in the story. They just need to know that the people who obeyed God were happy and the ones who didn't were sad. Overall, if you are looking for a book that serves as a brief introduction to character and stories in the Bible, and you are unlikely to be bothered by present tense repetitive language that leans heavily into moralistic, watered down theology, this might work for you.